Okay, the month is June, the lake is Green Bay. Let's talk about catching some walleyes. June is just a really prime time to think about trolling for walleyes out on Green Bay. The weather tends to stable out, the water temperature pulls up to 70 degrees or warmer, and it's just a great time to look for suspended fish or fish just off the reefs out on Green Bay. So let's talk about both situations. For the fish that are just off the reefs, what I like to pick there is like a number 7 style lure, whether that's a 7 flicker minnow or a 7 jointed flicker shad here. You're going to typically run those fairly close to the bottom when you're fishing that structure, again, just off the reefs. Last month I talked about fishing right up on the reef. Now you're going to slide off to the side a little bit, and these two baits are going to be really good choices. Now, once the fish are out suspended, then you're going to look at fishing a little bit bigger crankbaits. Bread and butter, the number 9 flicker minnow. The number 9 flicker minnows have just a great rolling action. You control them anywhere from about 1.8 miles an hour all the way up to, if it gets nice consistent weather and warm water, you can go all the way up to like 2.5 miles an hour and really cover a lot of water. Now the fish will be suspended, so make sure you look at your depth finder and fish just above them. The way you're going to know you're fishing just above them is to use precision trolling to get the right depth for these crankbaits. Now let's take a little bit of a look at what colors I might use out on on Green Bay. The purples are going to be very good ones, you know, whether that's prime time or alewife, maybe flashy prime time here. But two kind of ones that are always good, and it's hard to tell when, so you just got to put it out there. You've got 3 lines a person to run, so you know, something like a flashy Tennessee shad, or this is called black slick pearl here, are very good options. Other ones are, again, same color as this one here, but like an Uncle Rico here. Anything really with purple is awful good up on Green Bay. So the other thing you might consider doing, though, when you get out on that mud, is if you are looking for big fish, say you're in a tournament or something, do go up to the number 11 flicker minnow. It's a bigger profile, it's a bigger bait. A lot of times it'll attract bigger fish. One little hint for you, if it gets to be nasty weather, you might think about grinding it right down in the mud, right on the bottom. So the other thing you can do to fish for these suspended fish is obviously night crawler harnesses. I tend to go with a little bit bigger blades out on Green Bay. 4 would be the minimum size, going up to maybe even a 5 or a 6. Now you'll notice I have an artificial crawler on here. One thing that I really like about artificial crawlers, this is the SR crawler here, spinner rig crawler, is that you can get some colors that aren't normal. They don't look like a real night crawler. Now you'd say, well, why would you want to do that? Well, think about the crankbaits that are good on Green Bay, the purples and the weird colors like that. This is a color called Opening Night. You can see it's got like little flecks in it, and it's also got that purple haze to it. So again, just like the crankbait, switching your color of your worms can really help. And because this bait here, this SR crawler, just has a natural, really good looking action in the water, it's going to fool those walleyes just like a real night crawler would. So June is a great time of year to be trolling out on Green Bay. You know, just remember, look for suspended fish, then fish at or above those fish. Walleyes eating in an upward direction. You can either use crankbaits or spinners to fool them. But again, June, Green Bay, trolling is the deal.